Good evening all. How are we all doing? Ooh, thank you for the like spam. Apparently I'm muted. Can everyone hear me? Or is it just Claire that can't? Great. It's just Claire then. User error. She got me all panicked for nothing. It's the same in real life too. I'll be speaking and she'll be just completely blanking me. So, what have I been up to? If we have a quick look in Engine. Generally speaking, I've just been kind of tweaking and polishing. I've done some work on this section of the entranceway corridor. Specifically, I've added a little curve to the top of this particular panel, just to fit the profile of the ceiling piece. And I've curved the ceiling piece around as well. And I've mirrored that this side, so it creates more of a kind of all-enclosed, what's the word I'm looking for? Continuous design. And that gives us space for another flat panel here that can just sort of pop into the gap that's left. I'm going to square this off as well to make that panel just more square. And then the ceiling here is going to undergo quite a big change, which I'll show you in a moment. I've done the bolt attachments for the ceiling panels. Can't see it very well because it's kind of black on black. Let's just grab a copy of the mesh. So you can see a bit better there. So the panels have actual brackets on them now. And I've gone with a slightly different design for the panel, in that the grill that's going to go around the outside is actually part of a continuous sheet of metal, and that's essentially the backbone of the panel. And then the white plastic bit with the light embedded into it is just attached to the metal backplate, which just makes for a much stronger, sturdier panel. It should make it a little bit easier to model as well. And of course, I've gone through it with a fine-tooth comb and made sure that all these measurements are equal to one another and balanced. What else? Yes, yeah, so the ceiling, which again you can't see, but if I have a look at this model here, you can see that I've been working on the ceiling structure for the B-deck stairwell, and we've got this circular bit in the middle now, which is very different from the three square panels that we have there now, because the idea is going to be to have a recessed circular light in the middle there, with a blue LED ring going around it, and then either four sort of curved panels around it, or maybe just spotlights. And then this will need to be capped off because it's at the top of the stairs. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that bit yet. But directly below this is this, which is the security desk. So the curve in the circle, rather, in the ceiling panel is equal to the alignment of the security desk. So they should sort of complement one another quite nicely, I hope, at least. The security desk was a lot bigger than this, but I've gone with just a single chaired design because otherwise it just takes up so much of the landing that it makes foot traffic awkward to get behind it. I think that will fit nicely. And then we'll have lost the camera again. We'll just have a label across the front that just says security. Probably in 3D letters, maybe illuminated. So what I was just doing before the stream was just sorting out this wooden bit here, which is overlapped and just needs to be fixed. I've gone with a two-panelled design, so there's an inside panel and an outside panel. And so it means I need to model a little groove down the middle, just to kind of sell the fact that it's two panels. Hopefully once that's in engine, it should look quite good. I've also done an extra panel here, which I haven't exported yet, and I shall do the same over here. What else did I do? Oh yeah, the other thing I've been doing is just getting the ceiling pieces properly cut out all the way around B deck and all measured properly, so that it all lines up nicely with the wall supports, because they didn't line up properly before, but now they are perfect. And that's all the way around B deck. Yeah, good questions about the UI. Yes, ultimately I think I will build, let me turn the ceiling off a minute. I will build some kind of terminal into here. I don't know what to do with it yet, because as much as it would be nice to have a computer desk with a terminal, and in some ways it kind of needs one, the question is really, what do we use it for? Maybe just solitaire? That could be quite funny actually, just have a screen that only plays solitaire. Or like Minesweeper or something. Yeah, we can probably mirror some of the functionality from the internal security bridge station. Maybe get some of that in there. Some kind of an emergency lockdown button could be good. So we could lock the door there, lock the lift down, just like an emergency, something bad's happening, just to lock everything off. I've also gone ahead and included metal framework inside of this as well, so that actually forms a hard point. So for any instances where the ship might be under fire, the security guy can actually hunker down in here, and he's reasonably protected with 2 layers of inch-thick titanium. So it serves a practical purpose as well. I shall export all of that shortly and get it in engine so we can see how it looks. Before I do that, I just need to fix this, which is a result of following a path with this shape. Yeah, biometrics will definitely be a thing, because the ship's computer just knows who people are simply by their biometrics. the actual job of the security guy in the game is essentially being a gatekeeper for B-Deck. Because B-Deck has obviously access to the bridge and access to all the VIP suites. So he's just there to make sure that the wrong people aren't on B-Deck. So anyone that comes up the lift or comes up the stairs will be challenged just to make sure that they should be there. This is SketchUp playing silly buggers. All of these edges are completely coplanar, and yet you have to go all the way around drawing edges before it actually puts a face in there. And we shall likely have to do the same here as well. Just SketchUp doing SketchUp things. Going on there. Should be all the weirdness cleared up. So next we need to round off the bottom piece. Okay, and give this a groove around the top. And that should sell the fact that it's two pieces. You want to really tiny groove. Maybe 0.4. Oh joy. Just put a groove on this one as well, and then we can get those exported. That's a good point, actually. Yeah, it's one of those horrible grooves that just collects dust and debris. Cost of construction? Wow. It's a difficult one because it's obviously being built in 2261, so monetary value might be very, very different in 200 odd years compared to how it is today. If we were building it with today's prices, I mean, it's going to be probably in the billions, isn't it? Yes, 2261, exactly 300 years after mankind first orbited the Earth. I was tempted to have the white panel go across the top, but I like stopping it short and just having the wood there. I think it looks a bit nicer. We also need some shelving on the inside at some point, so I'll recess some shelves into there. So the last thing we need to do, if I could stop getting stuck in walls, take one of our bolts, line that up. I actually updated the brackets today to make them less high poly. They were kind of ridiculously high poly, needlessly so, and it was really lagging SketchUp. Now the ship should have quite a few bathrooms. So at the very least, on every single deck, there will be a bathroom located behind the main stairwell. So on B deck, it's here. The room immediately opposite the captain's office will be a bathroom on A deck. On C deck, the bathroom will be behind the main stairwell, and that will remain the case all the way down to F deck. And that aside, every single crew quarters will have its own ensuite as well. So there's going to probably be 207 plus bathrooms in like the bars and things. I would say probably something like 210 to 215 bathrooms on the ship. Yeah, the plan right now is to basically work top down from B deck down, polish all the bits that are currently here, because we need to get it all cleaned up, ready for the demo release. The stairs around engineering will need redoing. The stairs in the maintenance tunnels, the cryo room, and the reactor room. There's 3 different sets of stair models there. They all need to be redone. Yeah, geometry-wise, engineering's fine. The wall panels that I'm making here will be fine for C, D, and E decks as well. But for the most part, we're just polishing what's there now, so that we can get the demo put out, the public release. Yeah, and the next update after this current one is going to focus on the bridge. So that's going to be bridge NPCs, the ability to issue commands to bridge NPCs, and to generally make it easier to get around and do things if you're playing solo. So you'll be able to sit in the captain's chair and navigate the ship and scan ahead by speaking to the NPCs that are sat in those chairs. Essentially, it's the first iteration of the NPC system where we're actually able to issue commands to them. Again, it's another proof of concept just to kind of underline where we're going with that. Yeah, so the bridge NPCs in the next updates are going to be something you can toggle on and off within a live game. So if you've ever seen the old airplane movies, you've got like the inflatable co-pilot that just kind of pops out the seat. They're going to be a bit like that. So you'll be able to spawn in, say, a helmsman or a sensor specialist and despawn them if you don't need them. And they'll literally just stay sat in the chair and just perform their job. Obviously, that's not the long-term implementation, but that's what we'll do for the next update, just to get them in the game so we can work on the command structure without having to worry about them getting up and walking around. I'm not going to make them inflatable. They'll literally just appear in the seat. So if you walk up to an empty seat, one of the dialogue options will be to spawn in an NPC, and they will just occupy that chair until told not to. What was I doing? Oh yes, bolt. I actually thought ahead a little bit with this, and I've added a template around the bolt so that I can just paste that in order to cut out the hole for the bolt in the wall panel. Although it's not quite aligned, annoyingly, so I might just have to extrude that out a sec. Thank you, Firstus. Oh no, this is going to be a thing now, isn't it? I'm going to have to put inflatable NPCs in. Yes, Zambi, as Cloud says, the current update will focus on life in the galaxy in terms of the sensor output, general restructuring of the galaxy so it's more accurate, the ship remodel, and just general polishing on the bits that are already there within the ship structure. The bracket, where did it go? There it is. Let's see if this works a bit better this time. No is the answer. Why is it? That is absolutely not a curved surface. Now the ship will have energy shields, but they'll function somewhat like non-Newtonian fluid, in that they'll work by way of creating a, how best to describe it, thick space essentially. So the field that's generated creates density through energy, because energy and matter are interchangeable. So it creates a density around the ship, and that creates the effect of, like water, the harder you hit it, the harder it is. So things can push through the shield slowly, but any fast moving objects are completely stopped. A bit like the personal shields in Stargate. Yeah, custard space, basically. Yeah, there'll definitely be frequencies. So I want to make it such that the beam weapons are the things which essentially drain shield capacitors. So you're not damaging the shield as such, you are creating an energy draw on the capacitors that are powering the shield. So the more you're pummeling that shield with energy weapons, the more the capacitors are draining, and thus the quicker the shield will drop. And by matching the frequency with the shield, you perform that task a lot more efficiently. So you'll be able to change the frequency of the weapons and the frequency of the shields. So you kind of use trial and error until you find a value that matches. Yeah, obviously we'll balance that, when it comes to actually doing the gameplay testing. We don't want it to be, if you're so far off of the shield frequency, you can't damage them at all. But there will definitely be some form of penalty for having incorrect shield frequency. Should have mirrored this really, would have made it quicker. But oh well, we're committed now. Yeah, the ship is filled with bulkheads. Not so much on B deck, to be fair, but yeah, C deck and below, absolutely filled with bulkheads. So I think I'll give these guys their own anchor point, which I guess needs to be there. Which, if memory serves, is 17 meters from the core. Spot on 17 meters. Good, good. Right, which means we don't want that one. We want one underneath. Just need to make an anchor for that. To be honest, that one's kind of already in the right place. Ooh, it's exactly in the right place. Even better. Before I group that up, let's just sort out the axes for the mesh. So one going that way, one going that way. That group should inherit the same axes. Did you? No. No, you didn't. Now we have our origin points, we can export the mesh. Suppose I'll stick it under wall panels. The gravity is generated using a similar technique to the Alcubierre drive. So I suppose, and the shields as well. Again, it all falls back to the whole mass and energy being interchangeable at a quantum level. And in order to create gravity, you need mass. So the field creates that mass artificially in order to create 1g approximately of gravity. And then with the Alcubierre drive, that same technology is turned up to 11 in order to physically compress space. Not quite yet, Oni. There's 3 to go. 4 if you include a door frame. Yes, this one here. Even my mouse is scared of it. Yeah, that was an absolute nightmare to meld all these curves together, and I'm going to have exactly the same nightmare there. And to a lesser extent over here. SketchUp, what are you doing? We actually had the builder around today, funnily enough. He worried me for a minute because apparently he has a 6-month job to do somewhere in another part of the country where he literally has to go and stay in a caravan while he does the job. They're building a housing estate or something. And I immediately thought, whoa, hang on a minute. He's supposed to be building my dev shed. But apparently his brother also works for the company. And they also have some other people that work with them. So he's assured me that they will be able to start work soon. Apparently, you can get prefabricated cladded panels for a build like the one we're making. So he's going to send me some examples of that and we'll have a look. If they're prefabricated, we should be able to put it together even quicker, which would be nice. Let's see what this looks like in Engine. So if you spell it right. In some ways, this might actually be thick enough as it is. So I might make use of this for the outer piece of the desk, and maybe have the inner piece lower down to create more of an internal shelf, and then we can mount a screen on it. I shall have a look at that in the future. There will be in-game VoIP at some point, yes. And we did actually have it at one point. And then for some reason it started causing crashes to desktop, so we had to take it out temporarily. So I will try and squeeze it into one of our patch logs. Hang on. Where was the origin point for that? All the way over there. That's not normal. Are you okay? Yeah, you're okay. So it's the internal one. Not finish, just polish the interior so it's at least as up together as the demo is. We don't want missing panels and bits of weird geometry and stairs that don't line up for the next demo release. So all those things need to be fixed and polished. And then this can go out as is. The bulk of the front and the back of the ship will just be bare framework. I won't be modelling the interiors of those yet. For some reason this has lost its axes again. Origin point is there. Should have fixed it. Yep, there we go. That's better. Yeah, the full ship is going to be built a little bit of a time with each patch. So with every patch that we release, more of the ship will be done, and we'll just keep going like that until it's finished. We're talking multiple months, probably dozens of months before the whole ship is completely finished and polished. You know, with every plant where it needs to be and every prop put in where it needs to be. You know, we're talking a long time. Like every bit of HVAC conduit needs decal stickers put on it to show which way the flow goes, and you know, it's going to be a long process to completely polish the ship. And so we'll definitely be doing that iteratively. Yeah, the second DLC is going to have a carrier class warship. So we're definitely going military with that expansion. Too much of a groove, maybe? Oops, I forgot to delete my template. I don't think you can curve these around. Expecting it to be a font size, but I guess it just uses scale instead. Yeah, we could use a decal to put it on there, but I actually wanted it to be 3D. I can just model the word. Yeah, something like that. I'm pretty sure there's no way of curving this. So I'll model that as a 3D object and actually attach it to it properly. That's it. That'll do for now. Just for example's sake. It would be very unlikely that the game ever has mechs. Yeah, things like loadouts, then I'm sure we'll probably get to the point where you can customize those. I guess the thing to remember is that first and foremost, this is an exploration game, not a combat game. So a lot of the development focus is going to be on the exploration stuff. The combat stuff will come, and we'll certainly focus a lot on that when we do the military ship, but that won't be coming until much further down the line. Yeah, we could write it on the floor. I think I prefer it being modelled on there, though. If I do it as a proper 3D model, then I can put a little light strip around each letter as well. Then they can tie into the alert colours, just for some added sexiness. Look better with the less bold font. I'm going to give this a quick run through just to see how the spacing feels, just to make sure it's not too chunky. You've always got to add some sexiness. Yeah, it's not too bad at all, really. We know what we need. Yeah, I still need to do those, yeah. And remove that template bit there. Yeah, so on the inside, there will be some shelving sort of recessed into the curve here. It also needs some kind of screen modelled into it for future purposes. And yeah, there'll be some kind of weapons locker there as well. Yeah, I don't think that's too bad scale-wise. It's probably just about the right height. I think when sitting at that height, it definitely needs the inside bit to be lower. So I think I will lower this inside edge, maybe by about a foot, and then just have it smoothed off on the edge there, just to give it like a two-tiered effect. Yeah, and then that will give us room for the screen, and just some, you know, desk space for cups of coffee and things. Yeah, definitely with cubbies. And yeah, I like your idea actually. Sticky note. Do you have a level for those somewhere? Are they hidden in the wall? Oh, look, they are. Let's move them on the inside. Another one hiding here. Oh, there it is. I think given that the letters are currently floating in space, that's the perfect place to put the sign. Stick it about there. Or there. Yeah, there. Perfect. So something I was going to do was just put a coffee cup on there, but you'll notice there's no props anywhere on the ship. And that is because they are all spawned at runtime from essentially a table full of props and where those props need to be. And I need to find a better way of doing that, because obviously when we're doing set dressing and decorating things with movable objects, we need to be able to do that in real time, and not have them not be there when you're actually doing the decoration phase. You need to have a think on that. So we do have, so we have the props there. And then what I do is I basically load all the props into an array, get the transform for all of the props, and then write that to a data table. So like the act of deleting that doesn't actually change anything in the game, because I need to update the data tables to where everything should be. I'll have to have a think on that one. That must be where Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy got the number 42 from. What am I looking for? Drinks. There it is. Now it looks legit. But with the advent of UE5, we've got doubles now, so we've got 64-bit floats, which is huge numbers. That still has a lot of limitations, so I wrote my own world rebasing system, so the ship never goes further than half a light year from the origin point. When it reaches the edge of the 1 light year cube, it essentially teleports to the opposite edge. So it's constantly teleporting back and forth between this half light year distance from the origin point. Obviously, half a light year is still a hell of a long way, but with 64-bit world coordinates, it's actually not too bad. We do have some texture jittering on really far away planets, but I'm going to be changing the way that works. Probably in the next update, maybe the update after, whereby we change how objects in space are, or how their position is tracked, so that as the ship gets closer to them, they are in fact moving closer to the world origin, because the world origin is in the center of the bridge, in the middle of the bridge floor there, because the ship interior is static, and we're moving space around the static interior. But yeah, so rendering things obviously at solar system scales is difficult. It is a challenge, but we're just about managing it, crowbarring Unreal to do things it wasn't designed to do. Right, okay, I think that will do with that. I just need to make sure that is on the right level. It's been such a long time since I added props to the game that I've forgotten where my script is. It's one of these editor utils. Probably not this one. No. Definitely not this one. Oh, actually, saying that, is it hiding in here? Oh yes, it is. Okay, so where's my list? Hey BC5, thanks for popping by. Right, okay, so that's not going to work. So what I was going to do is rerun the script that saves all the props, but the function for updating the data table doesn't work, and we've lost our data table reference. So I'm going to work on that off stream, because that's going to be one of those head scratchers. This is, however, where all the props are. So this is essentially all the props that are on the ship right now, including their transforms. And each one, you'll notice, has a seed. Every single prop in the game will have a unique seed, and when we tie that into the procedural asset system, things like plants, because they have a unique seed, should be a unique plant. So things like, you know, rotations and scales of leaves and colours of things, that should all be seeded. So technically, every pot plant should be completely unique. But yes, so the act of adding all the props to the list is the complicated part, and a necessary evil, because of the persistence system that we have. When you put a prop down, it saves the location of that prop, so it always remains in that location whenever you come back to the game. But in order to manage that, we need to spawn the default props depending on where they are. And we can't just have them in the level, because if you move, say, a cup and it saves as being somewhere else, then every time that level loads, then the original cup will be back where it was, in addition to the one you moved. So you could literally duplicate items by logging in and out of the game. So which is why we have to do this small nightmare to achieve that. I shall come back to that, because that's going to be one of those rabbit holes. Right, so next job. I can pop these wall panels on, actually, because I do have them modelled now. Just need to make sure that anchor points are in the right place, because like these carpet tiles are slightly too big now. Like they're overlapping there. That needs to be fixed. Although I want to draw a circular carpet around that. Why don't we do that, actually? Let's sort out these origin points. So this one should now be correct, which means that should be 11 point something centimeters, 11.25, yeah. Okay. Right, so they are correct. Yeah, I do actually have a donut spawner, which just spawns donuts at a set speed, and that can fill up the game very quickly. I'll stick it on in a minute and show you. Anasi, yeah, so when you 3D print an object or you retrieve an object from a planet's surface, that object will exist within a class, and that class will have its own pool of seeds. So the seed that you have assigned to the object that you've picked up, as soon as you move it and put it down on the ship somewhere, it's automatically added to the data table. So every single prop manages that action internally. So each prop has, I've just been put down, I needed to be added to the data table functions. So every time a prop is moved, it checks to see whether it's already been saved, and if it hasn't already been saved, it adds itself to the list, and it simply manages that every time you move the prop. Which is the most efficient way that I found to do it so far. It gives us object permanence throughout the lifetime of the game, right down to planetary surfaces as well, because it's saving the relative world coordinates of the object. So if you go and put a cup on a planet somewhere, then that is saved to disk. So when you go back to that planet, it will check that data table and spawn those objects. It does mean that a new save entry is created for every single planetary surface you go to, but we can offset that by only creating it if you put an object down somewhere. Essentially, it's just another row in a struct. Hey Space, the game is predominantly single player, although it does have multiplayer support. So it's not an MMO, it is a session-based co-op game. Like Minecraft, essentially. It's exactly the same as Minecraft. So either you can just play on your own, or you can open the game up for other people to join you. I had it somewhere in the props thing. Oh, there it is. Donut fountain. I'm assuming it still works. It's been a long time since I tested this. Do we compile? Yep, that's fine then. What are we spawning? Toilet paper. Interesting. Set this to not start until we have loaded the game. Where's the event handler? There it is. So bind global event by name. connected. Should be the game fully loaded. And then that should fire off the fountain. Let's turn off the thing that stops it, so that I'll see just how good the engine is. Why? Oh, why? Oh, fine. Okay, why are we not spawning anything? Must be. Oh, I know why. It's because I've got it on the props level. We want it on B deck. Interior. Move levels, there we go. Yeah, to add the cats, I need to go through and sort out all the animations. The logic for just moving the cat around is all there, but the animations aren't hooked up. So I need to build the animation system for it, and then we can have cat wandering around. There we go. So this is going to slow down super quick because of the audio and because of all the physics. Mostly it's the audio that's slowing it down, because every single one of these is now playing a sound file. Yeah, so I will get that optimized, because we did have it before where I was able to literally fill the lounge with watermelons, and it barely impacted performance. But since I added audio to the props, it's they do not like all colliding at once. Right, back to some carpets. Right, so I think we'll stick with the 64-sided circle. You're welcome, Cloud. Now, we were just talking about that earlier, Jim. It's we had the builder around today because he was just finishing off some previous work for the loft hatch, and he was saying that he himself has got a big project that's going to take him 6 months or so. So he's passing the job over to his brother, who works in the same building firm, and they're going to try and get the materials ordered soon. So I don't actually have a firm date yet as to when work's actually going to start, but we will keep on top of them and try and get that sorted as soon as possible, because I want out of my bedroom and into a proper office. Yeah, and so does Claire, absolutely. Yeah, to be fair, the physics are actually way better than that. It's just the way that it's been implemented at the moment. It's the audio system which is causing the lag. I need to go into it and figure out why. I reckon 1.7 meters should do us there. I don't want to make that too wide because it's going to kind of choke that edge there. Okay, so this should be the world's easiest carpet. That should do us. Just set the origin points. Those to our group, and then set their origin point to be the same, and then hopefully everything will be where we want it to be. I have a feeling that's not where it should be. Yeah. Why is it over there? Right, so the origin point is there, which is where we want it to be. And then that one is there, which is where we want it to be. Is it because that is not a component? That were the problem. Essentially just made a rug. Yes, they are, Festus. The materials that are used on the meshes are intrinsically linked to the customization. Yeah, I've been moving everything to core master classes, master classes in the C++ sense. So all the floor panels are essentially the same class, all the wall panels are the same class, and all we're doing is just switching the mesh. Remember how I did this now. Right, so if we remove that, we bring that in, we grab that edge, copy that up there, and we got those two pieces there. Rest of that, pop that back, make that a group, make that a group, get rid of that edge. Right, there we go, that should be everything done. Speaking of saving a ton of work, that's exactly what these templates are doing. So, like making this particular floor piece, all I actually had to do was just cut out a flat piece of the template, and now I'm just extruding the template into the shape of the floor. So I'm not actually having to model the whole thing from scratch. Which is a huge time saver. on there. There we go. That's a finished floor panel. And a bit of rounding on that, just for good measure. If you could grab me some while you're at it, that would be good. My bottle of Doom bar is running out. That's quick. So when I did the origin point for the floor panels on C deck, I just drew a diagonal line across them and picked the middle. I think I'm going to be slightly more precise over it in this case. So are they separate? Yeah. So I know that that's the middle of the panel there. Midpoint is the middle there. So if we rotate this halfway across the panel, then our middle point is literally in the middle. And I'll just move the ones in engine to the same place. If you can use DX12, you should. It's a much more fleshed out version. The Vulkan version has issues. Yeah, having the floor sectioned off is kind of a necessary evil. I'm just going to save this a minute because copying in circles has been crashing it lately. Yeah, so the floor panels can receive damage and dirt and grime and various other effects within the game. So each panel needs to be individually removable, and it's very difficult to not have them as separate panels in that regard. Like this one panel here could be destroyed. So it can have a massive hole in it, it could be burnt. So you need to physically remove and replace this panel. Yeah, we could certainly make it less distinct. It's just, to be honest, that's more a result of the screen space ambient occlusion, which is causing such a dark groove. Because physically, there's very little difference between them. Yeah, we can definitely do security cameras, and we just can't update them very often because updating the render target is quite expensive. Yeah, I know what you mean about it feeling a bit. Yeah, voxely. I see what you mean. It's very bitty, having everything in set segments like this. But there is method to the madness. Yeah, I remember setting up some security cameras on the Orville game, and they were at one point running at like 30 FPS on the bridge, and as soon as you opened the bridge door, frame rate just tanked because the screens were just absolutely killing the CPU. But as soon as I really put that down to like 3 frames a second, you barely noticed that they were running. It's just going to be one of those things we got to live with. Okay, there's anchor point number 1. Yeah, it depends on the camera really. Some of them have low frame rates because they're battery powered, and obviously a full frame rate camera would absolutely destroy the battery very quickly. That's not really an issue with a wired camera, which these would be. But yeah. Yeah, the deck map with door statuses is definitely something I want for the internal security desk on the bridge, along with the ability to control every bulkhead from within the bridge. So I think the UI, as I envision it, would be a deck map similar to the ones that go here. And then on that deck map, you'll have all the doors highlighted as doors. And when you select one, you'll have a little pop-up with all the controls for that individual door. So you'll be able to open, close, lock, unlock, and view a camera. Because all of the security cameras will be associated with the bulkheads. So you'll be able to actually see the bulkhead open and close on the screen as you're doing it. Yeah, one of the things we're doing in the next update is we're adding, or it might even be this update to be honest, adding a security code to the multiplayer control panel. So at the moment, 0000 will open any door. But we'll make it so that you can actually specify what that code is in the host controls so that you can customize the unlock code for your individual ship. And then we'll put that same code on all of the security items, like being able to shut down the reactor, you should have to enter a code to do that. So we'll make that code, part of the equation. What should we call this one? Back right, and then the other one will be back left. Yeah, one of the use cases for the data center will be data storage, and there will be physicalized data storage devices in the data center where all your scan data and things are held. So if the ship receives a lot of damage, and say there's a fire in the data center, then some of that scan data could be lost as a result of that thing happening. Yeah, the long-term plan is that there will be a master computer terminal within the data center. So for things like the master door code and like the engineering code, you would have to go into the computer room, log into the terminal, and then have access to change those things. No differently than a real-world IT solution where you have to go in and actually enter a password to make settings changes. So rather than having it as an in-game menu that pops up, you actually physically have to go into the server room and type it into a console, which is a lot more immersive. And obviously that needs to save as well. I just realised I made this one whole panel last time. Oh well, not to worry. So that would go there. And the mirror of that there. Let's add a mirror function to the flooring master. I might do that now actually. Okay, so if it's false, we're not mirroring it. If it's true, we are. Make sure that they're both defaulted to 0. Okay, we should now be able to mirror. Huzzah. Right, so we need to set the origin for those. You need to go over here somewhere, and you also need to be duplicated. Okay. Right, so essentially I just need to copy the location from SketchUp. So it's 1843773. Autosave always gets me. Why is it over there? Oh. Right, yes, because I'm mirroring the Y. The X. So it's 1843773, and then it's 117283. What was it? 7283. Okay, and then we just need to know the angle. So you are at an angle of 3.64 degrees. Other way around. There we go. Right, so that should put this popping exactly into place. Huzzah! Definitely not a fan of having two pieces there. I think I will combine this into one piece. Think on. Yeah, I don't. Visually, I don't like that line being there, so yeah, I will combine those to a solid piece of carpet. We'll see how it looks when I've got the new lighting and everything in, but it's just a bit bold. Thought something looked weird there. I can see some nasty creasing on that, so I just want to fix it. I've also just realised that I've dragged the actual meshes into the world and not used the wall panel actor, so I will fix that. Let's just fix those normals first. That's a bit better. Steal a wall panel, you'll do. And duplicate it. Make sure it's visible from the right decks then. Ooh, panel labels. What would we even label this one? Oh, of course. The more I work with it, the more I'm less happy with using a variable to set the transform of the text render. It's so much easier just to grab it and move it around. So what we need is a button. Or is that over-engineering it? It might be over-engineering it, but let's make a button anyway. Nice and simple. Right, so this should allow me to grab our text component, stick it where I actually want to stick it. And if we press our magic button, just on that one, right, that should have saved that now. Which means we can now edit it without it disappearing. Huh. Oh, I moved the wrong one. Right, so we won't show the label on the outside. We'll show it on the inside. That'll do it, I reckon. Could actually add the other one on the other side. I'll leave it like that for now. Pleased to hear it, Space. Glad you're enjoying it. Realised after setting up that flip function, all the ones that were manually mirrored now need to have the button ticked. Let's do the front of that desk now. may as well just go ahead and sort out the anchor position first before we go building panels all over it. There. Duplicate that one. What were you? So 1, 5, 4, 9, 3, 6, 8. Okay. Then 98556. And then we need the angle. 3.640. Okay, there we go, that should be that done. Should be a nice easy one to do because it doesn't have multiple pieces. Oh, autosave. Why do you do this to me? There we go, that was a nice easy panel to make. What did I do wrong there? So 1549368. Yep. 95556. It should be 98556. That will explain it. There we go. That looks quite nice, I reckon. I think In an ideal world, I would prefer it to be further forward, but it's lined up exactly with the actual beams that go through here and here. So it's actually this line that goes through here passes right through the midpoint of that circle. So it's aligned exactly where the ceiling light would be. So it kind of has to be where it is. So on that note, why don't we start getting rid of these bits? B deck floors that can go away. Get rid of the floor template. And if we bring back the ceiling. Not that one. Yeah, there won't be like force fields or anything. This is very much physical security, so it's an actual security officer that would have to physically prevent you from getting past. Yeah, the Mark I strong arm. This guy would come leaping over the desk at you. Fire suppression, okay. Yeah, so I've been thinking about various approaches to that. The obvious one, given that we're in space, is to simply evacuate the atmosphere from the area that's on fire, which is fairly localized on this ship, because if we have a look at the framework here, there are no holes cut through for utilities yet, but with... how can I best demonstrate it? So on the outside here, you can see that the holes where the infrastructure runs are on the outside of the room, and the inside of the room is just a solid metal wall. And the same will be true above. So there'll be holes for infrastructure coming out, but the inside will be a solid wall. And of course it's capped off by a solid sheet of metal as well, which means that this room is actually a pressure vessel, and every door on the ship is an airtight door. So if there was a fire in the server room, in this case, then you can seal the door, evacuate all of the atmosphere from that room without affecting any other room on the ship, because the room itself is a pressure vessel. Which means every crew quarters is a pressure vessel. Every section of the ship can be isolated. So for non-chemical fires, that's an ideal way of dealing with the issue. Yeah, well, the beauty with being in a vacuum is that all you need is a pipe leading out to the outside of the ship, and a valve that you can open. So the moment you open that valve, pressure will take care of itself. You don't even need to pump it out because it will just get blown out into space. That said, and we have this problem with a lot of things on the ship, the more effective you make the failsafes, the less there is for the player to do. So it can be fun, gameplay wise, to run around with a fire extinguisher, physically putting out fires. If all you're doing is pressing a button and the fire magically goes out because it's evacuated the air from the room, that's arguably not as much fun. Yeah, chemical fires would need an actual fire extinguisher. Whatever grade that would be. I don't actually know what the different types are. I know you can get water or powder, that's about it. What do you mean by phasing away dangerous materials? Ah, I see. Yeah, we don't actually have phasers in the game. Gotcha. So I want to take the verticality of this space into account here, because we've got a lot of vertical space to play with. So I definitely want the ceiling recessed. It's just a case of how much. I'll do a similar thing with the ceiling, the same as we've done here. So we'll stop the white panel short of the wooden piece, and then just have the wooden, all of the inside wood with a white light. Oh yeah, I watched the Smarter Everyday video on how to generate oxygen. I'm currently working on the light fixture for above the security desk. Just trying to sort of get an eye for the design, where I want to go with it. Making something like that with the usual lip at the edge. And maybe then with the blue LED strip drop down below it. Yes. Hey Delta, good to have you on stream again. So I think the only issue with this is liking the jaggedy edge on that. Let's give it more polygons. Let's double the amount of polygons, in fact. All the polygons. That's better. Thank you, Delta. Much appreciated. Claire's after a new bed, actually, so that could actually come in handy. Apparently, I keep messing the bed up. She also accuses me of taking up all the room in the bed, when sometimes I'm quite literally clinging onto the edge with a single cheek. I'm like single cheeking it. Apparently I'm still taking up too much room. Yeah, definitely. At some point, I'd actually like to get aboard a submarine and have a good look. I need to start writing to some local shipyards and things, and maybe even the MOD, and just saying, you know what, I'd love a tour for my game for research purposes. Oh, thanks. That's good to know. Yeah, it'd be lovely just to have a tour of the systems, and we're basically building a submarine in space, so it would be nice to have some really hands-on real-world experience. seem to have missed half of it there. Where's the rest of it gone? Better. Relatively simple, but I think that might actually be all we need to do. Obviously the LED strip needs some support poles, but other than that might be our light. just sort out its axes. This is a security desk. So this is at the top of the stairs at B deck to stop people from just wandering into the VIP areas, sort of unstopped, unchallenged. Right then. So we need to replace this panel here with a new panel. Looks a bit like a UFO. Right, so if we duplicate this one, sure I've got the same values. It's okay. The security guy can just dive to the floor. Well, the security guy is definitely going to be well lit. You can perhaps turn that down a little bit. So yeah, he's definitely got good visibility of people coming up and down the stairs. something I was struggling with the other day is trying to work out why these panels are off when these ones are on. There's nothing different about them. They're literally children of the same master blueprint. Got exactly the same graphs. Practically the same constructors. For some reason, these ones are quite happy to light up outside of the game, just in the editor, but these ones don't light up until you run the game. I'm sure I've probably missed something stupid, but can't see what. That maybe. I wonder whether it's this. No. Going to go and make sure that this all works with the alert lighting and the customization and all that stuff. Okay, and it's all on. That's a good start. So, flooring. Yes, and yes. Should be them. Okay, brilliant. That seems to be exactly as it should be. Yeah, the height feels pretty good actually. This has to be the loneliest job on the ship. Look, he's literally going insane, just sitting there. Definitely needs some like executive desk toys for sure. Right, I shall do one more panel, this one specifically, and then I shall call it a night because it's been 3.5 hours. Lost in the wall. Out the way, wall. So we need anchor points, which is in the wrong place typically. Over. So I've done that anchor point there, so I need to do this one, this one. So this panel is attached to that anchor point. And same again. Struggling to know what to call these panels now. So main stairs. Curve one. Then we'll have curve 2, 3, 4, and call these Ah, first just the I key. Yes, good point. I shall have a look at that in a sec. That doesn't look right. Oh, it's because I'm looking at the wrong one. 349957. Which means the first number was probably wrong. 1814052. Like it. Yeah, quite right. It's always better to test. 10919. So, corridor rubber, wall paint, and parquet. And all I should need to do is take a copy of that will do. Give it the right panel. Does that have the wrong name? No, they're correctly named. As is that. sockets wrong way around. I'm on the ceilings level, that won't do. Okay, Mark, have a good one. Thanks for joining the stream. And yes, it is definitely nice to see some wall panels coming back. I don't actually know what number of panels these are going to be. Yeah, let's count them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I suppose then do 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That one would be 13 left. So you would be 14, 15, 16, 17. Backwards 16, 15. Suppose 14. Then you would be 18, because if you're 17, that makes you 18. Then we've got 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And then the last one there will be 25. It's kind of odd way of doing the numbering, but it's the only way we can do it really. So we go across that ring there, and then kind of work our way around that way. And I will just copy this one over, because I've already done the positioning of the label. Save having to do it again. There's 13 left. Okay. My only problem with this is that it's not really picking up on the curve very well. So there's a couple of kind of smooth curves there, and it's not really showing the fact there's a curve. It's just a kind of generic flat bit of wood. We'll live with it for now. Just make sure it's got collisions. Yes. Okay. So I reckon I shall call it a night there. Seems like a good place to do it. So next up, I shall do the other ceiling panels around this light so it's not all chopped up. I'll put a build out first. So tonight's build will just be what you've seen tonight. And then probably Sunday's build will have a finished ceiling here. And then I just need to sort of bite the bullet and get this bit done. I've been avoiding it because I know it's going to be a nightmare. I might do this bit first just to kind of get myself in the mood for the more complicated bit. I think I'm just going to do a relatively flat piece here. And I'm debating whether or not to have a grating around the outside of here. I might do. The whole point of the grating is the HVAC in the ceiling actually vents down through the grating. That's why it's there. So it kind of does need to be around here. We'll see what it looks like when I do it. And then finish the stairs. And then down to C deck, and the process continues. Okay, so that's it from me. I shall see you all again on Sunday. Thank you everyone for joining the stream and being patient with me while I kind of silently beaver away. I don't say this very often, if at all, but if you could like and subscribe, then I want to try and push our subscriber count up. So I would greatly appreciate that if you wouldn't mind. But that aside, have a good one. Hope everyone has a lovely week, and I shall see you on Sunday. Bye for now.